Everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a review and breakdown of episode 3 of Daredevil Born Again, and this will be a review and breakdown of generalizing what happened in the episode and what my views are on the episode, how this show is moving forward throughout its 9-episode run. Of course, this show used to be a 18-episode TV show that's now been split into 2 seasons, which of course I've talked about before prior on this channel, and how I view this as a really good move so that we have more storytelling and more time to wait on this. I understand that I haven't done episode 1 and 2 that came out last week.
That was the plan. Not a great plan.
And I know that's a little bit late onto this one, but of course I will be on it for next week, so that on Thursday I will hope to have a review and breakdown of episode 4, because this show is getting really rich and really entertaining, and I feel like it is worthy of me doing weekly uploads and everything like that on it. So yes, and I will try and put in theories and everything like that into the show, because I feel like it's really entertaining, and yeah, we'll see how it goes, and let's just get into it. And my first thoughts of this is that it was an overall really good episode. This show has started off really well, and it's just quite surprising. Or you could say it's not. Here's why. Marvel always has really good starts to their TV shows. Loki, WandaVision, all had good starts. However, as the show progresses, it just gets gradually worse and worse, to a point where the show almost becomes unwatchable. For instance, Secret Invasion, although yes, probably one of their worst shows, had a good start, and in my opinion it was a really good start. This show, however, I have extremely high hopes for, that it will continue having its good start and it will overall be their best show that they have made. Of course, I'm not saying that Loki or WandaVision weren't bad shows. I just said that WandaVision especially went really down. This show has been Loki was a continuum of good episodes in my opinion, and I hope that this show, it has a good continuum of like being really good throughout, because we don't want this up down nonsense that we've had recently. We want it to be really good, entertaining, and overall very good for the storyline. This episode really leaned into more court dealings for Matt Murdock, which I really enjoyed, and I found fun watching and enjoying him defending someone who really was under the ropes in a way. Like, you could probably suggest that he probably wasn't gonna get out of jail with this, except for the fact that he is a very good lawyer, which we saw in No Way Home.
How did you just do that?
I'm a really good lawyer.
But we also saw how he can basically do what he wants. He's such a good lawyer that he can be able to do really what he can with the law. It's very interesting, and I feel like Fisk can probably manipulate that in the next few episodes, saying how he's too good of a lawyer in a way, or that he is manipulating the law to benefit himself as being a lawyer, which in a way, what my theory is with this is that Matt is basically trying to ruin Fisk as mayor, so that without fighting, he's trying to do it without fighting, just diplomatically trying to ruin him as mayor, so that the New York public can turn on him and get him out of office. That's my theory. It probably is a very cliche theory, but that is my theory on things. I feel like the way we'll do that is throughout episode 4 and 5 and 6. However, there has got to be a moment in the show where we see him turn and we see him flip a switch where he's got to go back to his ways, because of course we've seen throughout the show so far a crackdown in a way of vigilantes and how they probably aren't good for the city, because of course we see in like some scenes where we hear like people go, oh yeah, vigilantes aren't good, or they're really good, or we miss them, or we don't miss them, they're not very good, or stuff like that. We see that New York is a really big divide, a real big divide where we see both sides of the argument. We also get to understand how Fisk can really manipulate people around him, which is really interesting. Of course, he manipulated the commissioners to stay in office, which can keep the police on board, because if the police aren't on board, that's a big worry for him and what he promised to the public. Because of course, in my head, he wants to keep a good image until he can't. And I'll get onto that, because at the end of the episode, we saw him use the Punisher to kill, spoilers guys, sorry, to kill White Tiger, which is really interesting, because it makes you feel like, what was the point of the episode? But the episode was really good, but the fact that he killed him off is, first of all, it shows that the show isn't afraid to killing people, which I am very glad. It destroys the stigma that Marvel aren't willing to kill off its own characters, which is really good, because they need to stop that stigma, because recently they haven't been killing off their characters. They've been too like taken a back seat with it, and this time they killed off quite a few characters, and a central character of the first few episodes of the season is now dead, just like that. And that is definitely Fisk's doing for sure. It will definitely come out to be that way. I don't know how, but it will definitely be because of him. No questions asked. It's got to be him. There was maybe some negatives with this episode, and it just be because it isn't at an hour. You know, there might be a few more scenes to flesh out. I feel like there's more storylines to be fleshed out, but that will come throughout the show. Of course, the first episode was an hour, which was really good, and then the second episode was about 48 minutes, and this one came in around 48. I hope that they continue with this, and if they do continue with like 48, that'd be really good. We don't want to see tailoring into the late 40s, early 30s, because I feel like that's not long enough for a TV episode of this magnitude. But overall, it's looking really good, and overall I'm very, very happy. My fears, I know, aren't great, but I hope there's something to like grab onto and nitpick, because I have just that feeling that something's like basically gonna happen in the show, like someone might die, or something's gonna happen that will be like mind-blowing, you know. But I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, the show is still shot beautifully and very, very well. The acting is still really, really good, and it's like, in a way, like a return to form, but the form hasn't been there for a while, so it's like a new beginning, and I hope that they latch on to this and we continue to see good projects, because we can't just rely on it. But also, I would like to say that it's a good start on the street level superheroes, because we haven't had that for ages, and it's a real nice fresh air that we needed, just to watch a street level that is, it's not in its own separate universe, but it's still like separated from the saga, but it's still like a street level thing, which is so nice and refreshing, and I'm very, very happy that this is what it's like. Overall, this episode was really good. It was very interesting. It had lots of stakes, and it was very good for like a big like character development for Matt, because we got to see him, what he wants to do, how he wants to help people and everything like that, without using Daredevil. Because overall, this season really, I think, is him. It'll be split into two ways: him being retired as Daredevil and him coming back into it. And we'll see what continues into season 2. However, so far this is really interesting, and we'll see what happens to make him become Daredevil again. But that is my review and breakdown of this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, that would be lovely. I'm trying to hit 30 subscribers by probably like April time, which would be lovely, and I would really enjoy it. And if you'd like to like the video, if you haven't already, that'd be perfect. I will see you next week, or maybe even earlier than that, for another breakdown of it, and I'll probably make a whole theory video, because I've probably liked doing it this episode. But yeah, I hope you had a really good time watching this, and if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can click here, and if you would like to watch another video that I've made, you can click here. But that is it. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. Yeah, bye.